This isn't a hypnosis video. If you're only into the hypnosis stuff and you don't really want to listen to me have a chat for a while, then subscribe at AmazingSleepHypnosis.com because I have heaps of hypnosis stuff coming out. Lots of it will be on YouTube, some of it will be available through my new website soon, and you will be the first to know about it. Anyway, so about 100 years ago, I made a series of Couch to 5K running videos. The reason I did this was kind of to scratch my own itch, so to speak. I knew they wouldn't be the most popular videos on the channel given that this is a hypnosis channel, but I wanted to provide an opportunity for anyone who wanted to follow or do Couch to 5K with me because it was something I was looking for, and at the time I didn't really find many people who vlogged their journey, so to speak. Anyway, the thing is, there were supposed to be 8 videos, but I only made 7. I had very grand plans for the final video. I was going to be celebrating by doing the colour run. If you don't know what the colour run is, I'll link it below. I had lots of ideas for how the video was going to be. Then, due purely to scheduling, I couldn't do the colour run. And it turned into this thing where I was then going to finish it off with another 5K, and then I discovered that vlogging while running is a pain in the ass and I didn't want to do that. And then I just left it so long that it never really felt like the right time to sit down and finish it. So basically this cycle got out of control because here we are about 1 million years later and I'm doing the final Couch to 5K video. It's kind of a good thing though, because the reason I'm making the video now is because I've had a lot of time to reflect on the experience and I actually have something worth saying about it. At least I think so anyway. I'm not exaggerating when I say Couch to 5K changed my life. So many positive ways. I am beyond thrilled with everything that I got from that program and from taking up running. First of all, the sense of accomplishment from being a person who couldn't run for 30 seconds without feeling like my heart was going to explode to then running every day on trails and over the bridge and around the opera house was it was the best thing ever. And I can't say enough that prior to Couch to 5K, I genuinely felt that some people were runners and some people weren't, and there wasn't a lot that can be done about that. And that is the biggest load of horseshit you'll ever hear. Running is a skill that can be learned, and Couch to 5K is a really great way to learn it. The second thing that I love is that I found an exercise that I really enjoy. Bounce out of bed, rain, hail or shine, go for a run and love it. I'm very much an introvert and I love doing things alone, so running is perfect for that. The third thing I love about running is a really lovely surprise. I actually made a running buddy. I think making new friends as you get older can become pretty challenging, and one thing that is a nice way to meet new people is through common interest groups and doing something that you enjoy. So after doing Couch to 5K, I joined a running club that had a beginners program, and I'll talk more about running clubs at the end of the video when I do tips, but basically the reason I did the beginners program is because experience tells me that anything labelled suitable for absolute beginners usually isn't. So even though I was already running regularly, I did the beginners program, and I was right, by the way. And over the weeks, I made friends with Alicia, which was really cool. Even though I love running alone, it's also really nice to have company on a nice long weekend run and have someone to push you and have a huge brunch with afterwards and eat back all the calories you just burned. And it's also really nice to just have somebody to do events with. I very quickly discovered you could fill every weekend on your calendar with running events if you wanted to. And it's a nice way to help raise money for charity too. Because I can't believe I'm saying this, but running events are really fun, and I am now one of those people who pays money to run in organised events. No one's more shocked than me. So what I really wanted to say in this video was, whether you're thinking about doing Couch to 5K or if you're nervous about trying something new, just do it. I guarantee you are capable of so much more than you realise, and I promise there will be benefits that you haven't even thought of yet. And you may need to push through for a while and see if you like it. I think when it comes to trying new things, self-awareness is really important. Self-awareness is really important in general, but especially when you're trying something new. You need to be able to understand when something is hard but worth it for you, or if you've given it your best and you're just never going to start enjoying it. Because when you're doing new things, if you're challenging yourself and stretching yourself, there will be times when it will be really, really difficult. And in those moments, you need to connect to your why. I heard Kai Green use the expression connect to your why a while ago, and it really, really stayed with me. It is the most simple but powerful statement, and it applies to everything you're doing with your life. So when you're connected to your why, you get through the most challenging moments. You don't have trouble getting out of bed, your enthusiasm rarely wanes, and your habits become second nature. I never lay in bed dreading getting up. I bounce up at 4:30 every morning, and I truly believe that is 100% being connected to my why and getting a really good sleep every night. But being self-aware and finding things in my life that I love doing, not just things I think I should be doing, is super important. Okay, so I think I'll finish this video with a list of my tips for people who are starting running. This list isn't exhaustive, I've just picked out things that I found really helpful. First thing is shoes. Find the right shoes. Running shoes can get really, really expensive, but I promise you it makes a world of difference and it will save you a world of pain. I ended up loving the On Cloud runners, but the best thing to do is to research the hell out of different types of shoes for your running style and talk to people who know their stuff. I'm fortunate enough to have an amazing physio who knows a lot about running, and listening to him saved my feet for sure. Number 2 is apps. If you're data oriented, and I promise if you get into running you'll become obsessed with distance and pace and all that stuff, not all apps and gadgets are created equal. I spent a lot of time testing different apps, and for me nothing beats a Garmin, even the cheap Garmin, compared to iPhone apps, and the reason for that was accuracy. The iPhone overestimates distance pretty significantly, and I did some research to figure out why, and I'll probably link to that below rather than getting into it now. But basically, I spent a few weeks thinking I was running 5 kilometers when I was actually only running a little over 4, and the Garmin totally solves that. Third thing is my favorite running accessories. I'm going to link to my favorite running accessories below. None of these are paid links, I'm just putting it there to be helpful. The most helpful thing that I ever found is the flip belt. So the flip belt is just a belt that you can wear. It has the one I bought has a zipper, so you can store, like I put my phone in there, I have my gym card in there, and it has all of these little pockets, so tissues, phone, whatever you need, like it has this thing for my keys. It is seriously, like, there's nothing else that I really feel like I can't run without besides my shoes, and my podcast says a lie, there's like 3 or 4 things I can't run without, but this is definitely one of them. So the flip belt, seriously, like, so comfortable, doesn't jiggle, like you can put so much stuff in this thing. I put my water bottle in there, and I'm going to show you that next because I bought the flip belt. I bought the flip belt water bottle, and it just is really skinny and it's curved and it slides in absolutely perfectly into the flip belt. So you can fill this thing with so much stuff and it totally doesn't jiggle at all. It's amazing, and it's really, really high quality. It doesn't break. Like, I've worn this to death and the stitching, everything's perfect. Okay, the other thing that I actually really hate doing, but I do because it works really well, is foam rolling, and I have 2 foam rollers, so just 2 foam rollers for 2 different things. I suggest getting a physio to show you how to do this stuff rather than watching videos, because there are some really terrible videos showing you some really terrible ways to foam roll. But I have one that's a big one like this that's a little bit softer that I use for some exercises, and I have this rock hard one that has pipe inside it, and it hurts like hell, but it's really, really good for you. I have to believe that because it really, really, really hurts. And the only other thing, I think I showed you my Garmin in one of the previous videos, but anyway, this Garmin is one of the cheap Garmins. I think like a few years ago when I started using it, it was like $100, and super, super good. Far better than the iPhone apps, but of course I always take my iPhone because I can't run without listening to podcasts. I am absolutely obsessed with listening to podcasts when I run. I have a bit of hair that just won't. There we go. Oh, and there's something on my window. Number 4 is listen to your body. So the really sad thing is I haven't been able to run since Christmas, and that sucks majorly. I had pain in my right foot, but it wasn't excruciating. I just knew it wasn't right. I had physio, I saw my doctor, and the pain I was describing sounded to everyone around me like I just needed to do some strength and stability training. So after 4 months of doing everything I was supposed to be doing and going to the gym instead of running, I got an MRI and it turned out I had fractured my foot. So basically I spent a month in a moon boot and now I am back to physio and it's still not better yet. But the moral of the story is if you're doing all the right things and your injury isn't getting better, get some imaging done if you can. I know it can be tricky in some countries. I'm very fortunate that in Australia I said I needed an MRI and I could get that day. So if that's possible for you, just don't wait to get it sorted or it can be a long road to recovery. Number 5 is find your tribe. If you're into running clubs or online running groups, find your tribe. I am a slow runner and if I hadn't found the Slow Runners Club, I would have been pretty disheartened by a lot of the groups out there. A lot of running clubs are obsessed with time and that's fine if that's your scene, but if it's not, just find your people. There are Galloway runners that use the run, walk, run method, interval runners, slow runners, all kinds of runners. So just find a group that embraces your running and don't let other people judge you for it. A person who runs a marathon in 6 hours runs the same distance as the person who does it in 4. It's all about competing with yourself and doing it how you want to do it. Wow, this has been a really long video. I would love it so much if you would leave a comment with your Couch to 5K experience or leave a comment telling me about something new you've been doing. I really think trying new things is so important and I hope this video gives you the confidence to try something new if you've been thinking about it for a while and you just needed a little push. So as always, if you like these videos, please subscribe at AmazingSleepHypnosis.com, give this video a thumbs up and I will see you in the next video.